realized I had a desire to help where the needs were greater. Jesus came to his disciples and said, "All authority in heaven and on earth has been given to me. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit." And as I thought about this verse in my life, it occurred to me that at the time I was thinking of making disciples in America, but I can just as easily make disciples in Kenya as I could in America. So we applied to go to Nairobi, Kenya, where we were on a team of 11 staff in Nairobi. And I thought, wow, there's places in Kenya that don't have any staff. And so I thought, wow, why can't we go and help them in some of these remote locations within Kenya? Why can't we mobilize the people that we've trained and discipled in ministry and take mission trips to these remote locations within the country and help them? And so we did. We had to plan many months in advance to book the helicopter and get it all set up. And so there we were. We were in this remote valley that the helicopter had dropped us in, and we were there with our Kenyan translators, seeking how we could minister to the local people. This was a place that is hard to believe that a place like that would still exist, where there's no dispensary, there's no school. Most of them had never seen a car, even though they'd seen the helicopter come before to give immunizations to young children. So it was an amazing opportunity to be in an unreached people group of that nature. Again, just serving where the needs were greater. And we showed them the Jesus film, we shared the gospel with them, and they were receptive to what we had to say. So we just stayed there overnight. My kids and I just laid out on the ground. It was a warm evening. We just looked up at the stars, praising God in our hearts for what he had done. And that just lit a fire in me for wanting to get to these remote locations and wanting to bring the gospel where it had not yet been brought. But one of the men, through the translator, said something that really touched me. He said, "We've accepted everything you've told us, but when are you going to come here and minister to us with physical needs? What about a school? What about a hospital?" And my heart was touched because I knew we couldn't help in those areas. But later in the United States, I ended up working for what is now UNTO, where we could do humanitarian aid, where we could bring not only the gospel, not only help with the Great Commission, but also with the Great Commandment of loving God and loving our neighbor, where we could go into these remote areas, we could go in where the needs were great and see how to help them with water projects, agricultural projects, to different countries in Africa, the Middle East, Central Asia, and elsewhere, to bring the gospel to them in creative ways, to help meet needs, to help relieve suffering, restore dignity, and reveal the hope of Jesus Christ. There's a great commission out there still waiting to be fulfilled. Early on in my missionary career, I thought of it like this. Suppose 10 men are instructed to carry a telephone pole. Would it be fair for 9 of them to carry one end of it and one person has to carry the other end? In a sense, that's what I thought. With so many Christian workers in America, why were there so few willing to go to the needs of the world? So I wanted to help that one guy. I didn't want to help the other 9. And I would encourage anyone out there who is wondering about investing your life in mission, just to realize the needs may be greater somewhere else besides where you are right now. It might be a local mission within the U.S., say after a hurricane disaster, something like that. It might be just across the local border, or it might be going to the world. Could be Africa, could be Asia, could be anywhere where you might have a desire to serve. Cru certainly offers mission trips all around the world. Many other agencies do as well. But I would encourage you to pray about going to where the needs are greater, where you can have a maximum impact.